Hello. I was wondering what you could do with £10 billion to spend on green energy. The government get 21 billion a year from us visiting the pump. So I'm thinking take half of that, 10 billion, over maybe 4 or 5 years. How could you spend that money on green issues? So here we go. £10 billion, 10 initiatives. Number one, encourage Elon Musk to build a giga factory in the UK. There has been a site mentioned, Bridgewater, but it could be Manchester or Birmingham. So what we do, offer him an interest-free loan or even a very low interest loan to build it. And they've done it in China where he borrowed 1.4 billion and he's paid it back. So actually it wouldn't actually cost you, you'd actually get the money back. And then you can spend it on something else. We've got a great engineering history in this country with Mini, Jag, Rolls-Royce, Bentley, Aston Martin, McLaren, MG, Lotus, and so many more. And we really know how to build cars and have been building cars for a long time. But if you say, well, Tesla, they're not just a car company, they're a tech company, well, we're pretty good on tech as well. Wasn't it Englishman Charles Babbage who conceived the idea of the first computer in the 1800s? And wasn't it Tommy Flowers, a GPO engineer in the 1940s, built the world's first computer out of valves at Bletchley Park? And unfortunately it was destroyed by Churchill after all. Not personally, but he had it destroyed, which was pretty bad thing to do, but never mind. Also Alan Turing, an Englishman from Bletchley Park. He had an incredible amount of work to do with the very first computer. Sadly he died in the 50s. Tim Berners-Lee invented the internet. Well, he was working for an American company, but he devised and invented the web browser, so that gave us the internet. So we're pretty good here, I think, making cars and pretty good with the high tech. So wouldn't it be great? And they could build the Model 2. This is the hatch version that's been talked about for a long time because we have a lot of hatchbacks in this country. The Model 3 is considered a small car in the USA, but here it's not. I would love to get my hands on a Model 2. Let's build them in the UK and we can sell them throughout Europe. As far as the EU is concerned, I don't think it would be a big issue because I doubt if the EU would put a trade barrier on an electric car. And whether you sell one car to the Europe or a million, the paperwork's much the same and it's quite a big object, so I don't think there would be an issue with selling electric vehicles to the EU, and we can make a lot of them, and we've got a great history building cars. So my second billion would go to people who want to buy an EV. Currently there's a subsidy of £1,500 for a car, electric car under 32,000 and £2,500 for a car under 35. Vans get, a small van gets £2,500 subsidy and a larger van 5,000. The thing is, my £42,000 Tesla didn't qualify for a subsidy, but the government did get £7,000 in VAT. Tesla very cleverly put it on the invoice, and it makes you think, the government are doing okay, aren't they? Really, it should be subsidised a lot more to encourage a lot more people to actually buy electric vehicles. So, number 3, my £1 billion would go on subsidies also for the general public, for solar panels and photovoltaic, to encourage more and more people to use the energy from the sun. When I'm out cycling especially, you notice, especially in more remote places, the oil, the huge oil and gas canisters outside houses, massive ones, and you think, the sun is shining, you're facing the south, you've got all this energy that you could be capturing. And I think £1 billion to encourage more people having solar panels, photovoltaic, would be a great thing. Also, I'd include into that new build and architects, because all too often houses are not built facing south. And then they've got all sorts of eaves and things like that. And I would want to encourage architects to build houses with a huge roof facing south. I mean, it was Elon Musk who said when asked about the energy from the sun, and he said there's enough for everything, 100 times, and I think it's close to 1,000 times. So much energy up there, and I know it doesn't come out all the time, but it actually, sun comes out a lot, and you don't always need brilliant sunshine to store up energy. So that's £1 billion that I would spend on number 3, subsidies for solar panels. Number 4, £1 billion for startups, green startups, all kinds of great ideas, too many to mention here. That we could have a panel of experts who may end up investing themselves to advise on great ideas for green initiatives from small companies. Some may have already started producing, but they're struggling and they need more money, and I'd put £1 billion into that. Also, existing manufacturers, companies who make solar panels or wind turbines, who want to expand and would like a low interest loan. And of course, like so many of these things, a lot of it's just loans. So £1 billion, in some cases, you would actually get the money back. I'd spend number 6, £1 billion improving cycle paths, footpaths for walkers, to stop people using their cars or make it easier to walk. You've only got to look at Holland and what a great infrastructure they've got there, even though the Dutch don't wear helmets, or not many of them, and we do here, or mostly. It could be so much better. £1 billion wouldn't do much, but it could do a lot, and it's just a different world. I think of Holland as cycle heaven. It's an absolutely wonderful, they do that so well, the Dutch, and you've got to hand it to them. It's really good. So that's my number 6. I would spend £1 billion improving cycle paths and footpaths for pedestrians to take away so much dependency on the car. Even if it is electric, don't have to use it. I hope you can subscribe and like. It does help the channel so much. And we're not sponsored by anyone, but don't forget to take your reusable mug wherever you go and stop using those pesky paper, plastic lined cups that you think are being recycled, but they're really not. Reusable mug is so good. Okay, number 7, I would spend or invest £1 billion for loans. A bit like earlier where we were talking about £1 billion to encourage the gigafactory in the UK. But this billion would go to existing car manufacturers like BMW, who make the Mini here in the UK. It's a great looking car, but doesn't it just need a bigger range? I suppose it's okay for the city, but I never realised Nissan Leaf has been made in the UK. Jaguar, Indian owners now, Vauxhall, Lotus, Rolls-Royce. They're making a electric Rolls-Royce. Rolls-Royce seems to me about as green as a Hummer, but never mind. There will be some people who can afford one. So not only the cars, vans, buses, trucks, lorries, you name it, £1 billion to invest in companies to help them to make more electric vehicles. It's not a lot of billion, because I think it was Dyson who spent or claimed tax £500 million and then gave up on making an electric car. It would be low interest loans, so a lot of these billions we'll be getting back because they're going to be paid back. Okay, number 8, I would spend £1 billion on wave power research, because unlike solar, wind is fairly well advanced. The problem with wave power is that the waves in the sea is so destructive, and so the maintenance is really hard. So in essence, it probably needs something on the surface, rather than under the water. But there's all kinds of ingenious ideas, and £1 billion could really get the wave power research going. Although there's a lot being done, I think we need a lot more. And besides, we are an island surrounded by water. Okay, number 9, geothermal energy. Heat from underground. There's a lot of heat and energy there, and again, some companies are doing this, and we need a lot more research for that. And number 10, I know what you're thinking. We've got, if everyone's driving an EV, there aren't enough chargers around the country, and you're right. I think there are now. There's more than enough, but we do need a lot more. So I would spend £1 billion on the public EV chargers. Okay, we've got Tesla, Instavolt, Podpoint, etc. In Scotland, they've got the excellent Charge Place Scotland, but we need to encourage more of this type of charger. BP are doing something, and I think it was in Germany, they have a law that every gas station has to have electric charging, and that wouldn't cost us anything at all, would it, to insist that in the next few years? Because it's no good saying 10 years, because that's ridiculous. But we should be spending a lot more on the public chargers. So that's how I would spend £10 billion on green initiatives in this country. Tell me what you think. Please like and subscribe, and please leave a comment below. Thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to use your reusable mug. Take care. Bye.